follow up with that Chandler's Secret Darkening agent that I did a video on, I don't know, several weeks ago. So there's been several weeks of little tests that I've been doing, and I thought I'd just give you some information on that, and then I think I might pass along my secret formula. Let's take a look. So far, if you remember in the first video, I coated. Half of this was coated in the darkening agent. The other half you put poly on, then the darkening agent over that, and then I had strips of either clear coat or poly or clear coat spray in here. This thing I've been wetting down on dry days and have been sitting outside literally in the rain for as long, immediately after that video was, which is several weeks. So here's a good example of the back side of this. Now again, half of this, which I believe is this half, did have that darkening agent on there, so it did not prevent, maybe it's this half actually, it did not prevent the rust. It helped. Alright, yeah, it's definitely this half. I can't tell now anyway. It helped a little bit. It's not a rust protector. On this side, and this is dirty right now, on this side you can see the strips where I have coatings over it, and it protected from rust underneath the poly as well as the clear coat spray. So I mean, this is a good example here. My orientation. This is the side that I didn't put the coating on. I put poly on first, and then this is the side where the coating was on, and then this down here I believe is poly, and this up here is clear coat. And it, you know, sitting out in the rain, it's just one coating. So I'm very pleased with the fact that the darkening agent didn't react with the steel, and that the darkening agent covered with, you know, what I typically use, clear coat or poly, performs very well. And this thing's been sitting out in the rain. This would have looked like that. So I'm very happy with that. As for the other pieces that I did one piece and I bent it in the vise to see if the coating would crack or anything. Did not. So again, I'm calling it a coating because I think it's both. What I've discovered, or what I've determined, is that if you wipe it on and then wipe it right off, you get a stained steel. So I think it does stain the steel, but the more you put on, the heavier the coating. At that point, it starts building up on itself. So you can use it as like a paint or a coating, or you can use it as a stain and just not put it on as thick. Anyway, this is the piece that I had forged previously and coated. I can't see what you can see. Obviously this section here, this has been sitting in the shop, and it still looks great. It still looks nice and dark. This piece here, let me wipe off the dust. I guess you could probably see it up here. Is the piece that I did some of my tests on, right? And you can see that everything's looking good there. A couple of things to note though. Let's do the side that looks so good. Alright. If I take some water on this, now I haven't checked this in a while, but I take some water on this, alright, because it is a water-based coating. Alright, that stain is there, you can see it, the stain part, but the coating part will wash off after you know, that's how you know that it's more than just a stain. It's actually a coating, because the top part washes off. So you still end up, like I said, and that's my conclusion, it does stain. Let me see if I can see. Alright, I'll get you closer. It does stain, because you can see that line there. But that coating, like paint, again being water-based, you can actually smooth out blemishes or stuff like that. So I'm very, very pleased with how that is. It'd be better if it didn't wash away, but that coating underneath poly or clear coat sticks, obviously, because this has been out in the rain and been washed a million times. So actually, let's try that. Yeah. I mean, it's just, you can see where the clear coat is. So that's what we know so far. One more thing. All right, so again, very, very pleased with the darkening agent with some protection over the top. All right, so a beeswax, you know, the traditional beeswax, that would be a protectant also. So I mean, just to think about it. Now this is the mix that I made, and one thing that I've discovered is it ferments. You don't have smell-o-vision, but it smells like beer or something. So what I haven't done yet is I haven't seen what that, you know, is it, what does that do to the steel? Does it still work well as a darkener or not? So let's go ahead and do a quick test here with that. So I'm not sure what to do about the fermenting issue. It's never that fermenting, it's spoiling or it's producing yeast or something. I don't know what it's doing. But it still seems to go on exactly the way it did before. And see, I can turn around and wipe that right off. And that's going to be your stain portion of it, you know what I mean? You can see that or not, but it's, can you see it? Yeah. All right. So anyway, I'm pleased with it, and I'll use it, I guarantee. A couple of things that I have learned is that it works much better over something that's forged or something with mill scale on it. So if well, let me show you. I'll take video, which was called, oh, I call it now the retarded fish knife. I like that name. Anyway, I did use the darkening agent on here, but I had cleaned it off, you know what I mean, as much as possible. It doesn't really do well on clean steel. It likes that mill scale, it likes rust, it likes something to soak into and become a stain on. So for something totally clean, not going to be the right thing to use. Short of that, I'm pleased with it, and I'm going to continue to use it. Now, do you want to know what it's made out of? Because I was going to keep it a secret. I mean, it's not a secret. Thousands of people know about it. Many of them in the comments were totally right. But I missed the harvest. I asked my son to help me do that. Harvest of what? Black walnut. Yep, black walnut husks is all you do. Go out and collect a bunch of those. Take the nuts out of the inside and just boil that and keep boiling it. Now, I put some of the stuff out in the sun in a dish and it turned into tar, and that might be the right thing to do, is to dehydrate it to the point where it's either dry or turn into tar, and then just rehydrate what you need. All right, you could use it as a paste with a wet rag, that kind of stuff. But it does work, and I've used it as a teenager, and that's where I got the idea from, preparing traps for trapping. You would, especially new ones, you want to put them out in the rain, let them rust up a little bit, and that was one clue about the way it would work. But then you boil them in walnut husks, and then you boil them and dip them in wax and that kind of stuff. But anyway, it works. I'm very pleased with it. I will use it on my non-shiny steel, like right off, right from the mill with mill scale, or the things that I forge that I don't go through and grind down to a total, so where's my darken? There it is. To a total sheen. All right, it works very, very well. So that's it. Geez, this is what I made, right? When you use it, you use almost none, so it'll last you a long time. I think I did I don't know, almost a full 5-gallon bucket of husks, and boiled that for several hours. It's like boiling syrup. It takes several hours to boil it down, especially if you want to go thinner than what I did in this mixture. All right, bring it down to syrup, or bring it down to like I said, a tar even. I wouldn't burn it, but I think if you let that dehydrate, maybe at a lower temperature, you might get you won't get the fermentation, right? And it might last longer. But again, it works. It's still working there. Where is it? You can't see. All right, that's from the jar, right out of the jar. So, all right, well, I'll tell you what, next year, I won't miss the harvest. and I'll be making some of this stuff up. But anybody that has black walnuts with the green hulls still on the tree or on the ground, right now they're pretty black on the ground, grab them, boil them up, put them in a jar. There you go. Thanks for your support. Catch you on the next one. I like it. I give it a thumbs up. Chandler's Secret Sauce. Blackening agent, black walnuts. Boil them down. Ciao. If you found this video helpful, educational, maybe even if you just found it entertaining, and you want to support me, you can jump back to my channel. There's a button on the right hand side of the screen called support, and it's kind of like a tip jar. You can go ahead and leave Chandler a tip for this video, and that'll help me make some more, I guarantee. Thanks for your support, as always.